What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to talk about some games that I think will not be at E3. Now, a few days ago, we did a video, and hopefully you guys liked it. I'm recording this before that video went up, but we talked about games that I feel pretty confident on, right? I've covered quite a bit of games individually in their own videos. I've also talked about publishers individually, like their entire E3 predictions videos, and some games I felt very good on. Some games I kind of fell in the middle on, and then some games I was like, yeah, it's not happening, right? And I mean, obviously, there's always a possibility, and I hope to be proven wrong with every single one of these games I'm about to mention. But I just thought this would be something fun, something different to do, just to kind of show you guys where I'm setting my expectations, right? What games I don't think are going to be there, and you guys can let me know what you think in the comments. So, if you guys do like that, if you've liked my past E3 stuff, make sure, as always, you guys are subscribed, bell icon turned on, give this video a like, definitely helps the video out. And if you want to help us support us in other ways, even besides that, we do have a Patreon, and we do have YouTube memberships. They're the exact same thing, just in two different places, depending on where you want, or where you'd want to, I guess, give money to. You get exclusive benefits / perks for each of the different tiers that we do. So again, just different ways of supporting the channel. If you guys want to check it out, I'd be greatly appreciative of. Patreon, the link's in the description, and YouTube, obviously the join button is directly next to the subscribe button. Okay, this first one is kind of funny. It's shit, but let me say this though. It's something that I do think is legit, and I've seen a lot of people talk about this. I just want to make it clear, I guess, for anybody that hasn't gotten the hint yet, okay? Sony games. Sony games will not be there. Now, there's a couple things with that, though. It's not as easy as just saying, okay, any PlayStation exclusive won't be talked about. People that say, let's get God of War, let's get Spider-Man. I mean, I guess they're just not paying attention, right? Because Sony is flat out just not going to E3. But I do think there's caveats here that there is the potential for technically some PlayStation games to be at E3. It's very possible. Square Enix mentions Spider-Man, the DLC for the Avengers. That would be a Sony-specific thing, even though Sony's not going there. Also, I mean, really, it's just all Square Enix. Square Enix could also do something where they, the Final Fantasy, really any Final Fantasy game they talk about has some, the prequel RPG one that's been rumored that they're making seems to be a Sony exclusive. Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 2 would be Sony exclusive. Final Fantasy 16 is going to be Sony exclusive for like a year or more. Okay, so really anything Final Fantasy, if they announce it or they talk about it, would be Sony exclusive. So there are caveats. I'm mainly just saying this is a joke. Don't expect God of War, Spider-Man, etc., etc. Second one is GTA 6. I get the love for this game. I get people that want it. Now, I'm on the boat where I want this game. I'm excited for it. I'm definitely going to buy it and play it. I'd prefer a Bully too. I'd prefer pretty much anything outside, even though Red Dead's an amazing game too. Anything besides Red Dead or GTA, just to give us some diversity, because they're experts at crafting open worlds. And I think games like Bully and just come up with other ideas. Those games could be very, very good as well. But I just don't see GTA 6 being there. I think they could talk about GTA 5 remaster or whatever those enhancements are. They make it sound like there will be some sort of DLC addition to the game when it comes out on next gen, so maybe they will talk about that one, but I just don't think GTA 6 would be there. Two from WB Games, I don't think Gotham Knights and I don't think Monolith. Now you could be saying, Alex, oh my god, you've done a 180. Well, I wanted to make this video a little bit bold, right? Kind of talk about some that I'm kind of 50-50 on. So in reality, this isn't really clickbait. In reality, I do think it's very possible Gotham Knights is there. I want it to be there. Trust me, on my list, and I don't really have a list, I guess a list in my mind, Gotham Knights is up there in terms of games I really want to see at E3. It's just the closer we get, the less optimistic, like I've stayed pretty optimistic on Hogwarts Legacy. I've stayed pretty optimistic on a couple, not even just from Warner Bros., a couple different games. I've stayed very positive. As the days and weeks have gone on, Gotham Knights kind of goes down a little bit. So, and it's mainly because of DC fandom, because I think it's a lock for DC fandom. The question is, would they do it in two places? Would it be DC fandom and here? So I guess to be bold, I'll say that I don't think it's going to be here. I think an easier one to have just said as an easy prediction would be like Suicide Squad. I doubt that's here. Almost either way, okay, but that would be a more safe prediction, but I wanted to go a little bit bold. And then Monolith, this one hurts to say, because I really I think it makes so much sense. I think it's time. You know what I mean? It's a game that's probably not a DC game. It's not a Lego game. You know, again, we've talked about how a lot of Warner Bros. Games, they could be shown at different events throughout the year. They don't need E3. Well, Monolith, if it's the third, Shadow of blank game, the third Middle Earth game, right? I mean, come on. So I really want it. I've loved the past 2 games. I want the trilogy, all that good stuff. So I want it there. I think they are working on the third game. I just don't think it's going to be shown there, and that is pretty disappointing personally to me. One from Nintendo, Mario Kart 9. So Nintendo and honestly even Microsoft, we're going to get to them in a second, but they were kind of hard to come up with a list of any game that I don't think will be there, because in reality, when you look at Nintendo, I honestly think Metroid is very possibly going to be there. Bayonetta 3, I do think will be there. Legend of Zelda or Breath of the Wild 2, I think will be there. A new Mario game in general, I do think will. So, like, you go down the list, it's like, well, I could say there won't be a new Animal Crossing, stuff like that, but it's like, okay, obviously we all know that. So coming up with one is a little bit more difficult. Mario Kart 9 is a game that I want, is a game that I do believe to be real or will eventually come out, whether they've even started making it or not, but I just don't think it's going to be here. But I do think Nintendo is going to have an amazing, amazing show. 2 from Ubisoft, our good old friends at Ubisoft. Again, I've talked about Ubisoft in particular, like in their own video, and I said, like, look, in order for Ubisoft's conference to be good, they need to pull out some new cards. They need to say, okay, Splinter Cell, Rayman, let's show Prince of Persia again. They need to go into their catalog, because upcoming, they really only have Far Cry, and I guess they have Rainbow Six Quarantine, right? Which won't be the official name, but those are it. So I'll say on the reverse side of things, I don't think we get Splinter Cell. I want it. It's been long enough. They did it with Prince of Persia. I do think a Splinter Cell game will happen one day. I'm not going to get my expectations too high for this year's show. And then Skull and Bones. I mean, you guys should know by now how much of a kind of a cult fan I am of Skull and Bones. I mean, I really do want this game. I am so saddened and upset by its seemingly like 3 reboots that the game has been under. So that stuff makes me really mad, because you're sitting on an amazing idea and you're sitting on a genre that has really, Pirates of the Caribbean, right? I'm a huge, huge fan of Pirates of the Caribbean. Can you not make any games besides, now obviously they didn't make Sea of Thieves, but like, is Sea of Thieves the only thing you can come up with? I know there were, like an open world RPG that was canceled and all that stuff. I mean, I think there's such a desire for that kind of stuff that people don't even realize. So Skull and Bones, I want it there. I think it could be, especially if the rumor's wrong. Like if it didn't get rebooted a few months ago and they've really been working on a present version of the game for like 2+ years, I think they could show something very easily. So we'll have to see. I definitely think it's something that they could show. It depends on if they rebooted it like 4 months ago, because if they did that, then obviously it's not going to be ready, and that definitely sucks. And then one from Microsoft, I'll say Everwild, kind of a 50-50 thing. In my Microsoft predictions video, I kind of said, right, Avowed, Everwild, Fable, these are games that are they're obviously very different games from each other, which is good. That's a very diverse portfolio that Microsoft will have, but they're in the same group, I would say, as games that are coming maybe 2022, some of them maybe 2023, maybe we have to wait that long, and so they're kind of far out. It's like, well, is Microsoft going to talk about them? Or, because we know they're going to focus on Starfield, we know they're going to focus on Halo, are they going to announce, and there's the rumors they're going to announce like 5 more new games, which won't be out for years, so it's like, are they going to focus on just announcing things we've never heard about before, or will they focus on stuff we have heard about? And I don't know. I actually don't think they will do that one, even though to me that one makes more sense. If you talk about Fable, if you talk about Everwild, Avowed, these are games we've seen a little, very little, but we've seen them, and they would come out sooner than Wolfenstein 3 or an Indiana Jones game or brand new games, right? Like a Project Typhoon or Project Omen, whatever those games are, right? It would come out sooner than that. So, again, Microsoft, it's hard to come up with a list of games I really don't think will be there, because I think a lot of things are possible, and that's kind of cool. Ubisoft is actually the easiest one, which is not a good thing for a list like this. So let me know, guys, in the comments below, what do you think? What are some games you think will be there? Again, we made that video a few days ago. Definitely check it out. What are some games you think will not be there? let me know. As always, make sure, again, you guys are subscribed, bell icon, give the video a like, definitely helps it out. If you want to support us on Patreon or YouTube memberships, would love to have you guys. Again, you get exclusive perks from the different tiers that we offer, and we'll expand that, and we'll have a lot of fun there over the next several years, I should say. Okay, thank you for watching, guys. More E3 stuff coming very, very soon. I hope to see you all there.